The sixth Parliament will soon come to an end, paving the way for the inauguration of the seventh Parliament of the Fourth Republic. This means a new Speaker will be chosen to steer affairs in the chamber. To ensure the orderly flow of business, the House observes parliamentary rules and traditions. It is the Speaker's duty to interpret these rules impartially, including the right to freedom of speech. To preserve the trust of the House, the Speaker's actions must be impartial. Sources have indicated that stern lobbying is taking place within the corridors of the new administration for the speakership positions. GBC24 has been speaking to the director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Draman, on the nomination of a new speaker of the legislature.
You should get to the proper authority in the House to have that matter brought before the House.
The Speaker of Parliament manages the conversation in the House, admitting questions, motions and statements, rules and questions of parliamentary procedures and privileges, as well as presides over debates and voting in the chamber. For this position, a person must have what it takes to referee both sides. According to the director of the African Center for Parliamentary Affairs, Dr. Rashid Draman, the Speaker for the 7th Parliament must be fair and firm. Names like outgoing MP for Sekendi, Papa Owusu Ankoma, former Deputy Speaker Professor Michael Quay, former Attorney General and Minister for Justice Ayukwe Otu are all set to be in the reckoning for the position.
I think the list is a good list. I have had the opportunity of working with all of them, but very closely, I think the only one of them that I have worked with is Honorable Papa Owusu Ankoma. Most recently, I sat on a committee that was set up by the Speaker to help Parliament establish the Parliamentary Training Institute. He served on the committee with me. I was their advisor. And, I heard a lot about him from his colleagues and so on in terms of how fair he is, how analytical he is in terms of looking at issues and so on, to the extent that, both sides of the House, I think, value his contribution. He doesn't hesitate to say things the way they are, even if his party is strong. But for me, most importantly, when we worked together on the committee, I could see in him somebody who was very keen to see some changes, somebody who was very keen to see Parliament as an institution develop, somebody who is keen to at least make sure that we have a very proud institution that we can call our own. So on that basis, I can say, if he becomes a speaker, he will be a very fine speaker. The others I couldn't comment on because I haven't worked very closely with them. I only deal with them from a distance most of the time.
Article 95, Clause 1 of the 1992 Constitution states that there shall be a Speaker of Parliament who shall be elected by the members of Parliament from among persons who are members of the House or who are qualified to be elected as members of the Parliament. Will the Parliamentary Centre recommend getting the Speaker from within or outside the House?
We've tried all. We've had immediate Right Honorable Joyce Bamford Addo. We've had Honorable Peter Lajete and so on. This is the first time we had somebody from within. I believe that if you have someone from within Parliament, it's much better. But it also has its challenges, because if you are immediately seen as a party person, because when they pick you from within, that means that you are representing most likely a seat that belongs to the majority. Immediately, that tag is going to be on you for the rest of your tenure, which would mean that as much as possible, like I said, you have to be seen to be a very honest and fair arbiter. If you have somebody from within, the person understands Parliament, he understands the issues, the person understands all the challenges. It's not like right now that he or she is coming to take another year to learn and understand the challenges that Parliament faces. So that's the advantage. The disadvantage, though, is the partisan tag, which whoever becomes speaker, if the person is from within, would have to work very hard to shed as quickly as possible, and that would be seen through his or her pronouncements. That will be seen through the kind of rulings. That will be seen through, the way he handles the affairs of Parliament in general.
For his views on the incoming Parliament and the huge majority gained by the NPP in the general elections, this is what he had to say.
The 7th Parliament, I believe sincerely, from what we saw on December 7th, the 7th Parliament is one that Ghanaians expect would be a parliament for scrutiny and accountability. No rubber stamp, and it should be a parliament that I believe Ghanaians would want to see to be on the side of the people at all times, in terms of the budget that they pass, in terms of the policies that they approve, in terms of the loan agreements that they approve, and so on. I think if we see that, they have a very comfortable majority. But I can tell you that majority is not supposed to be a majority for blindly supporting government. If they do that, I think the same fate that happened to this 6th Parliament would befall the 7th Parliament.
Come 7th January next year, the 7th Parliament of the 4th Republic will be inaugurated. Many expect the House to perform its duties in a non-bipartisan manner, building consensus and avoid what is termed rubber stamp culture. 2 deputy speakers will also be nominated, one from the majority caucus and the other from the minority side, and so would outstanding qualities be taken into consideration in choosing the two.